20, and like my eyes felt like they were bleeding.
That is like
But
hot,
like,
hot
but
pink.
you can tell I have a type.
Yes, obviously.
So
Yes.
welcome back to Double Fiber Diaries. I'm Elizabeth,
And I'm Kayla.
and we are back with another regular podcast episode. Finally, this fall's been
Finally.
very busy with lots of travel. As you kind of probably guessed from our last little fall knitting plans video where I was in Texas, but we're finally moving into the winter season. Things are at least settling down temporarily, and we figured we would do our next podcast episode this weekend.
Yes, and we have a ton to share. A ton.
Yeah, we do.
Because September was like our last episode.
Yeah, and both of us have gotten into Christmas and gift knitting, so it's really picked up a
Yes, I
lot.
have a mini gift that's done, which is really great
Yeah,
because it's not even December yet. It's
I
not even
know that is
Thanksgiving.
honestly great.
Yeah. Okay, so
Okay,
we'll
I
start with,
have start with finished objects.
yes, start with finished
Okay,
objects.
I have six, but I don't have two of them with me because they've already been sent off to recipients.
Okay, I have 7, and they're all with me because they will be gifted at Christmas. So I
You
can
can go
start.
ahead and start
Oh,
then.
actually, I could. Well, I guess my doodle stockings technically I'm counting it's just one because there's 2 of them, but they're the same pattern. So I'll start with them because they're very fun and exciting and festive. So these are my doodle
Yes.
stockings. This one's mine, and this one is my husband's. And I finished
So
them
cute.
last week so we could use them for decorating for Christmas because we were already decorated because we're not hosting Thanksgiving, so we can decorate early. This is from Pacific Knit Co., the holiday doodle stocking, and then some of the motifs, like these Christmas lights, I know for sure from the holiday doodle pack 3. So I kind of just gathered different motifs from both the holiday doodle stocking pattern and from her little packs that are extras. And I knit these in Wool of the Andes worsted from Knit Picks, which is a non-superwash 100% wool yarn. And I would highly recommend a non-superwash because like these are gonna be like hanging by this I-cord like for a month.
Yeah.
And superwash would just stretch out and grow too much. These are also the narrow size. I did not do the wide size. And I have enough of this yarn left over that I'm planning to knit 2 little mini stockings for our cats. That might happen this year. Honestly, it probably won't happen this year. It'll probably happen next year. Because this is a lot of color work, and I have other things I need to work on, like my gift knits. So that's my first
Those are
finished
gonna
object.
be so cute when they're all
I'm so
done.
excited. They're gonna be so cute. They already look so good on our mantle. So I am.
Yeah, they
I
really,
pulled
really
them
do. I've
down.
seen your pictures.
Yeah, I pulled them down today, and he was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm about to film a podcast. I've got to share with the people."
Yeah. So my first finished object is something that people may have already seen in our like fall knitting plans video, and it is my port cardigan in
Yeah.
Bordeaux. This lighting here is making it look a lot more orange than it is,
Yeah,
but
you're
it's
in your
in
basement, which is difficult, but we do what
yeah,
we can.
but it's a well lit basement.
Yeah.
Like honestly, it's brighter than our main floor. But um I knit this in Bordeaux from Knitting for Olive, and it is in one strand of merino, strand of soft silk mohair. I will definitely be knitting more of this cardigan because it is by far my best fitting cardigan, and this combination of yarns is so luxurious. I'm
Yes,
absolutely
it's on my
obsessed.
list now after seeing yours in person when you were here visiting. Yeah, I have to make one. So, very
It's a
excited.
really good cardigan.
Yes. We'll do what I'm wearing next. So I didn't start with that because I am wearing a knit, but this one you saw basically finished in our fall knits.
Yeah.
I just hadn't put buttons on or blocked it. This is my Jenny jacket by Petite Knit. This I knit in one strand of Knit Picks palette in Mongoose and one strand of Knitting for Olive soft silk merino in dark cognac. And I'm obsessed with this. It is so cozy. It looks so good. I love the like crew
It
neck
really
cardigans
does.
right now, like everyone else loves them. And I've been loving it and wearing it all the time. So it was a very fun knit. And the pattern, like it looks like it's complex. It's not. It's not complex. It's 2 by 2 rib and then some, however, what's it called? What is the
Smocking.
term? Smocking, the smocking stitch.
Yeah.
So it is actually very easy. It just like takes some time. But yeah, this is my Jenny jacket.
I am really excited to knit mine after seeing yours because it turned out so incredibly good. It'll have to
So
be
good.
like a spring knit for me probably at this point, but at least it'll be
Yeah,
ready next fall.
it's worth it regardless of when you knit it. It's so good.
Yeah. So my next finished object is something, when did I even start this? I think I started in April actually.
Mm.
My Doppio sweater,
Yeah.
uh, which I started as part of the EKF Doppio knit along and then did not finish that obviously, but I
Yeah.
did finally finish this Doppio. Um, I used Explorer Knits and Fibers in the color Olympic National Park for the Surrey, and then also I used a strand of their Denali sock in that. And then this was really based off of one of their samples for the knit along.
Yeah, they had some
You see like
fantastic
all the
samples.
colors.
It's
But
so good, so dimensional.
instead of using a single strand of Snoqualmie, I used Sanduskarn Sunday, and I think the colorway is Into the Pines. It's a discontinued color, and I panic bought like I think 18 balls of it when it was going away because it is. Do I have it out? No, I don't have it out anymore.
It's a
It's like
great
the
color for you.
perfect green, in terms of like a good commercial green, other than Snoqualmie. Snoqualmie is still my favorite green of all time. Um,
Yes.
but it was really close to that, so since I had it, I just used it for this
So good.
sweater, and it's going to be very cozy. I need to take pictures of it still. Um, I finished it when it was still like 70 degrees here, and now finally we're permanently
Yeah.
in the 40s and 50s for the foreseeable future. So I can
Lucky
finally take
you.
pictures and not melt.
The high is 70 here today, so, Texas. But
I have like, I think today's 45.
so lucky. Okay, next are my Life of a Showgirl socks. I don't think I talked about these, so I included them, but I'll do them
I think
quickly.
you did. I
Did
think you
I?
talked about, I think they were a finished object.
Okay, we'll skip them then, but they still look great. I
I
could
think
not remember for
yeah,
the
they
life of
still
me
do.
if they were, but they still look great. Hand-dyed yarn from Nashville, Life of a Showgirl socks, love them. Self-drafted rib. So
Actually, I
instead,
think
I'll
you talked
do,
about them and said you had finished one at the time, I think. So you talked about your
okay, well,
finished
they're both
sock.
done. So we'll
Yeah,
just,
now
because
they're both
we
done.
have so many, we'll quickly go through. And then I'm gonna group my small gift knits together and just get through them since we have so many to go through.
Okay.
This is a classic Sophie scarf,
Mm-hmm.
in black, and it is for my aunt. She asked for this specifically, so she knows this is coming. It is in Filcolana Arwetta and Filcolana Tilia in black, and I had it left over from my sunset sweatshirt, and it's just classic. I made her a red one last year that she also requested, and she asked for a black or a blue this year, so I went with black because I had the yarn and my stash, so it worked out well. First gift knit,
Turned out
and
really good.
then this one is out of handspun yarn. It's a stick season hat, for my husband for Christmas, and he loves this hat pattern. I made him one last year in like a brown, and so I spun some yarn to make it even more special and knit another one this year for him for Christmas. I got this
Looks
fiber.
so good in that dark green.
I think it's 100% merino from Fyberspates. We were together when I bought it
Yeah.
after our spinning
Yeah, it
that we
was
did there.
100% merino, I think.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
this green. It's fantastic. And I hope he likes that. And then I just finished this one yesterday, so it still needs to be blocked. But this is a beginner's welcome beanie. I forget who it's by, but it'll be below. This is my new favorite hat pattern. This is so good. It's so quick. I knit it on US 6s because the pattern calls for US 7s. I
Um,
always go down a size. And I knit it with 2 strands of palette and 1 strand of Fyberspates Cumulus because it's meant to be like a worsted Aran gauge. And you just knit straight for a while, and then it has a 6 point decrease that looks so good
oh,
on the
that's
top.
pretty. I like the
It's like
decrease.
the perfect combination between not being too flat and not being too pointy of a hat. This may mess up my hair, but I'm gonna try it on anyways because it's worth seeing, I think. Um, there we go.
Yeah, that is
Like
really
it's
cute.
it's not too pointy, it's not too flat. I think it's the perfect gifting beanie. I
Yeah.
also it only used, I weighed my yarn. 68 grams of pallet, and I held that
Oh,
double.
wow.
And then 21 grams of the Fyberspates Cumulus ball. That's 25 grams. So little yarn. This is the adult 2 size,
It's
by the
not
way.
that much.
So like women's size. I'm gonna go up a size for my brother because I'm gonna make a matching one for him. This is for his wife, so they'll have little matching beanies. Um,
So cute.
and go up a size. But okay, those are my small gift knits.
Okay. Um, I finished a pair of socks, and this is, I think, the longest pair of socks I've knit to date. Like
Love
they're
those.
long.
They are.
I specifically wanted socks because now I'm in like my functional knitting era where I can knit things for warmth.
Yes.
And so I need more boot socks, and I have these like tall black leather boots that I really enjoy wearing with leggings specifically. But I don't own many like warm wool socks. All of mine are like cotton crew socks, which
Yeah.
um even in Texas, like when it would get into the 30s, 40s, sometimes my toes were a little cold, or like when I'm visiting Washington and it's cold and damp, felt a little cold. So I'm like, those aren't going to cut it in Colorado where it is going to be cold and dry for a lot of the months of the year. Um,
Yes.
so this is kind of a modified summer camp sock. I
Okay.
cannot remember who made that pattern, but
Is it Summerly Knits or is that
not
not one of
Summerly
hers?
knits.
Okay, so we'll
Yeah,
have it
it's a
below.
free sock pattern on Ravelry. It has a 1x1 ribbed cuff and then a 3x1 ribbed leg. Um,
I love a ribbed
and
sock.
I omitted the striping, and I did my heel. I didn't do whatever the pattern heel was,
You did the hill flap and
but
gusset.
yeah, I did a heel flap and gusset instead of, I forget what they did, honestly. Um, I So this is Acadia National Park in Denali on the Denali Sock Base by
Oh,
EKF, and I tracked down this yarn as soon as we knew we were going to Maine in October, and so this was my Maine Bar Harbor knitting
I
project.
love
So
that.
most of these socks were knit going to or from Maine, which is really fun.
How fun. I love that.
Explorer Knits and Fibers, I love all their colorways. I love the nature and
They do
national park
such
inspired
depth,
ones,
like
especially.
dark, deep, nature inspired
Yeah,
colorways, which is very you. Like they're like so you.
so me. Um, I do have pictures of these that I just need to post on Instagram, so I will do that
Oh,
because I have
nice.
a feeling that the video is not going to do this colorway justice, but it is like
No.
I'm not a blue person, and this is the most beautiful like marled bit of like bluey greens, oranges, and then like some creams thrown in there, and
Yeah, that
they're
definitely
seriously
is
stunning.
on my side, it's not coming across as beautiful as I know that colorway is because I've seen
Yeah.
pictures on their Instagram. So yeah, that will be good to see it in full color
Yeah, I'll put it on
photo.
Instagram.
Perfect. Okay, next is a sweater, and this is not a sweater for me. This was a sweater for my husband. This is the Bibliophile 3 sweater by Alicia Plummer, and I knit it in Knit Picks, Andean Treasure, and Meridian Heather. This I gave him the yarn with like a little mini sweater as an IOU last Christmas, and told him I would get
Cute.
it knit in time for him to wear it um, this year. And in Texas, that gives me until November. So we had one cold day a couple weeks ago where it was like decently cold for like a day, and he was able to wear it that day, and he loved it. And so now he'll be able to,
That's
well, it's going
awesome.
back up now because we're in Texas, but he will be able to wear this all winter long. Now it is done. It's so soft. I have a sweater out of this. I did the Hour pullover by Sari Nordlund, and I forget how amazing this yarn is, honestly. It's so soft.
Yeah.
It's 100% alpaca. I also may be stealing this from him sometimes. So
Yeah, you can.
is that
Wear it with
nice? That
leggings.
nice? Yes, that would be so nice. But yeah, this is fantastic,
That's
and I
so
love that. The
great.
pattern is so good for a guy's sweater, by the way.
That's good to know. Okay. I have one more finished object, and then I have two I can talk about, but I don't have.
Okay.
So my last finished object that I have with me is the Manhattan hat by Tori Yu, and I knit it in Camellia Fiber Company organic worsted, and I'm spacing on the name, but it'll be in the description box. And
Yeah.
this one is
I
actually
love
on my
that
rack
color.
too, in terms of what it is. But it's a beautiful, like subtly, it because it's like hand dyed, there is some subtle color variegation in it.
Yes.
So it's not like just solid, solid, but it is like the perfect beanie for like this time of year here in Colorado where it's not super, super cold, but it's also like you want something covering your head and covering your ears. So this
Yes.
was another very functional knit for me because I
Functional
knew I
and
needed
cute
more
though.
hats and it is really cute. And I have like three or four other beanies, both for me and my partner, that will be going to be trying to knit in like the next month or so, just because so we have some variety.
Yes.
So it's fun being able to like knit for function
Yeah,
and form,
it
but
is.
like actually need to knit.
Mm-hmm. Okay, my last finished object, and then you can talk about the two that you don't have. And I'm counting this as a finished object, even though it still needs to be blocked and buttons still need to be put on. But this is the Traveler Cardigan by Ozetta that is also a gift knit this year for my mother, and she knows because she's seen it and she picked out the yarn and I picked out the pattern and she's seen it in progress. But it'll be nice because it'll be all blocked with buttons and she won't have seen that. And so it'll be a little bit of a surprise. But sleeves are done, body is done. It is the Lang Cloud yarn that everyone has been obsessed with in the bright colorway. I think it's colorway 8 or something like that. And it turned out so good. It's so light, so airy because of how that yarn is made. And I love it. She's going to love it. She's a bright color girl, and that's not me, but it's really fun to knit with all of these colors because it's really fun to knit up. I just don't
Oh
get a lot
yeah.
of wear out of multicolor things. I think our mothers are the same in that respect. So we get to
Yep.
knit with something
My
we
mom's
never
favorite color is
wear.
hot pink.
Yeah, we get to knit with colors we would never wear, but are fun to change up from our neutrals. And then we can gift it to someone who we know is very
Debatable.
knit worthy. Yeah. It's fun to gift
I
it
just
because
I
I
think of
know,
my mom's vest that I knit that was out. Do I have it behind me? Don't I don't see it here. She chose like azalea pink Cascade Merino Superwash 220, and like my eyes felt like they were bleeding.
that is like
But
hot,
like,
hot
but
pink.
you can tell I have a type.
Yes, obviously.
So
Yes.
for me to do anything that's like a fluorescent hot pink is just, it's not in my color palette
A little
whatsoever.
painful, a little painful. Yeah. But my
Little
mom, luckily,
physically painful.
like, this has some neutrals in it. I enjoyed the greens and the blues that came out. Um, Other things I've knit for
No, it's
her
really pretty.
aren't like as in your face as that hot pink is that you knit for your mom, I will say.
Yeah. I think it
But
helps too because I've knit my mom a pair of hot pink and light pink striped socks,
mm,
and I did like the inverse of that for me. So mine's light pink with like just a single hot pink stripe at the cuff. And those were really fun. And that reminds me a lot more of
yeah,
the cardigan knit because it is
the
fun to knit with
stripes.
bright colors. Just like you said, we don't wear them.
But like a solid bright color can be a bit painful. Yeah, I
Yeah,
get
that's
that.
when your eyes feel like
Especially
they're bleeding.
neon pink. Yeah, neon pink for sure.
Yes.
That's all my finished objects.
So my last two finished objects, like I said, have already been sent off to the recipient. I did take pictures, so those will be on Instagram shortly or maybe thrown up in the video if that's something we ever
Maybe,
figure out.
yeah, I
And by
always
we, I
just
mean
forget.
Kayla, because she's the
Yeah,
one that's better on this type
yeah.
of stuff.
I do edit our
I'm
videos and
and
I always forget to put pictures in, but maybe today I'll remember since I'm planning to edit it
I'll
after
send
we
you the two
film.
pictures I have. I'm in the process of trying to edit my first Instagram reel, so I'm really proud of myself.
How exciting!
Um, but I knit the Oslo hat, which is my go-to hat knitting pattern, out of two strands of Sandus Garden Sunday and the really dark navy color Night Sky.
Mm-hmm.
And that was actually a remade Christmas gift from 2023 when I knit my dad's hat way too big. So
I
bought the
remember this.
yarn, gifted it to him, and then was like, I'll knit it for you. Last year I didn't because I was applying for jobs. And now this year I was just like, we're going to knock it out. So
Yes.
knocked that out. And then I knit, um, I had also bought him yarn for a stick season hat, which he didn't know about. Um, in I think it's slate green from Knitting for Olive. I used their heavy merino.
That sounds
Um,
right.
I think it's slate green. If it's not, it'll be correct in the description. But
Yeah.
I knit a stick season out of slate green and I finished it in, I think, just over 24 hours. So I was really excited about that. Got both of those blocked and shipped off to him for his birthday, which was yesterday. So he will, whenever
Nice.
USPS decides to get them there, he will have two hats as a surprise.
I love that.
But yeah, I'm looking at like my acquisition yarn next to me and it is a lot of hat yarn. And then I have some hat yarn behind me too
Like you
for
said, you're
hats.
in your functional knitting era, which is hats for you right now. So
Exactly.
I love beanies. I have a ton, which is why I haven't knit any for myself recently
Yeah,
because I have a ton. Because I had a beanie era like a year or two ago where I
I
just knit
remember
all of
that.
the beanies. So I don't need any more right now. But I did make my husband one because he wears them all throughout the winter, like every single day. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, great. Very exciting. Love that the gift knitting is happening. I haven't cast after I finished the cardigan and the beginner's welcome hat. I haven't casted on any, but that is my plan this afternoon. Is I need to cast on another beginner's welcome hat in literally the same colorway, just a size up. And I'm gonna do a pressed flowers cowl for my grandma. So I'm gonna cast both those on today.
that'll be really
But
fun.
we can move into whips now. I have three.
I have all the whips. I have
Okay.
one, two, I have at least five.
Okay, you start first then.
As a disclaimer, I'm faculty, so I have known for months that I'm coming up on on huge chunks of time where like I'm just not going to be working quite as much as normal. And we're currently in one of those. So I just started casting stuff on in preparation for that.
I love it. I
And
love it.
we're going to get a lot of knitting done, hopefully. So the first thing is my Gib sweater by Andrea
Oh,
Mowry. We are on the first sleeve. We finished the body, first sleeve. Um, and I'm knitting this in Sorella Classic DK in the color PSL. I've like wanted a fall sweater out of this that was textured all over
for
for
years. You've been talking
over
about it
a
for
year
years.
now. So finally pulled the trigger and I'm obsessed with this sweater. Um, Sorella yarn is what got me into knitting in the first place because of her Taylor Swift era's colorway, but her colors speak to me a lot. And Explorer Knits and Fibers and Sorella are like my two favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this color, which again probably is not, the brown seems like it's doing a little better on camera than the greeny thing, but this is just the perfect, most rich depth of color that I've ever seen in like a pumpkin spice latte type color. I also love pumpkin spice lattes, so it works out for that reason. This
It
yarn is
does.
a dream to knit with. Um, I'm always surprised by honestly both Sorella and EKF's 100% superwash merino bases compared to like commercial ones, they feel a lot more round and dense.
Mm,
So you get the comfort and the softness of superwash merino, but like with really
the
good
stitch.
stitch definition.
Yeah, the stitch
Um,
definition is so good.
yeah. So you end up with a garment that feels like a sweatshirt, but like has pretty much the same stitch definition as like a non-superwash wool.
That's
So
so nice.
yes, it's expensive. Yes, I will continue to splurge on it because it's so good. So
Yeah,
hopefully this is a finished object next time because it's getting close.
I bet it will be. 100% it will be.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Okay. Let's We'll save my Christmas sweater for last. We'll start from like least done to most done. That's a good order. Okay, so this is a start, almost a full collar, because it's going to
Yeah.
be double folded for my broom sweater by Andrea Mowry. And this I like randomly so I already had one yarn in stash. This is Camarose Midnassole. I'll have the colorway below. Don't know, but it's like the dark evergreeny color. And I got this in Prague a couple years ago because I wanted to do a cumulus blouse out of it, but I never got around to it because they take a while to knit up. And that just like I have one, I do wear it a lot, but to convince myself to cast on another one has been very difficult. So I decided I'm going to get a yarn to pair with it, and I found this on sale. This was in our Knit Dallas haul that we did at the end of our fall
That
knitting
was
plans
really good.
video. And this is, hold on, I'm going to actually take this out of the center. This is Mayak Yak Lace in Emerald. And this was on sale, and so I'm holding these two together to get this combo, which turned out even better than I expected it to. And so this will be a double folded collar, and then it will just go into like a raglan. And I think it will be so, actually, I'm pretty sure I'm at like
It'd
where I
be
want it
really pretty.
for the height. So I'm very excited for this teal sweater. My swatch, my concern is that it'll be like, is that it was going to be too like see-through, but like my swatch is pretty good. So I think this is going to be great. This is on a US 6. So
It looks
I
really
am very
good.
happy to see how this turns out. So that is my first whip.
That is going to be absolutely stunning. I have yarn for that sweater too, somewhere.
You have a really nice yarn for that sweater. I remember
Yeah,
your
I have
Sorella like
the Sorella one.
PK or something.
Yeah. This is the last time that there won't be doors. This will be a nice background because the doors are in the garage. So I do my Christmas sweater next because it's the next most done.
Okay, I'm very
I'll do an
excited.
accessory because I have one here.
Oh,
So
okay.
Kayla actually gave me this yarn for Christmas last year. It is turning into a Sophie shawl, and this is the
Ooh,
alpaca. What
cool.
is this Sandiscarn alpaca? Alpaca wool. That's what it is. And so it's an alpaca wool blend and the colorway almond, which I became obsessed with after watching those twins who knit for
Yes,
years. And I it is the perfect cream.
it's
So
so
like I'm
good.
going to need to buy a sweater quantity of this, even though Sandisgarn yarn's getting super, super expensive here.
It is getting more
Um,
expensive here in the US, unfortunately.
yeah, it must be everywhere because I don't think it's just tariffs.
No, I think it's gone up regardless. I don't know, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's like
I remember
almost
when I
to some
started knitting,
extent as expensive as hand dyed in some cases.
yeah, I was looking at Sunday, for a project, and Sunday's now like $15 a ball on Wool and
Oh
Co.
my gosh.
Yeah. So literally the same price as one hand-dyed skein
Wow.
for the same amount. Yeah, but it's such a good color. So
It's so good.
I'll have to splurge on it or go to
Go to
Norway
Europe.
and try to get it cheaper there. Yeah.
I did get it for a great price because I was in Prague when I bought it.
Yeah, you
So,
did. So, yeah, I'm curious what it is costing over there now, and maybe I'll set my browser settings to
yeah,
Norwegian and try to
see
pretend
what it
I'm
costs.
Norwegian and try to buy some.
Smart. Okay,
I have three
next,
left.
I have two left. Okay, next, most done is, and I think y'all have seen this in the fall knitting plans because I'd started it then because it's one of my fall knitting plans. This is the Hugs and Kisses pullover by Sorry Nordland. You've made this. I am making it
I love
in
mine.
the 6 palette held double in Hair Heather, which I am obsessed with. This colorway is a neutral. Like it's gonna be so
It's a
good
really good
for
color.
a very neutral beige cabled pullover. The definition with palette held double, so good. It looks weird right now because I have it like tied off because I'm ready to pick up for one of the fronts. I just have yet to do so, and that's also on my to-do list for this afternoon is to get it going on the front again. But yeah, I am loving this. I at one point thought I could have it done for a Thanksgiving sweater, and then I quickly decided, no, that's not possible. That's too much. So I'm gonna cast on a Christmas sweater instead. And that's my last whip. But we'll get there in a minute.
It's gonna go really fast once you get to the fronts.
I'm very excited.
So I'll do socks next. The first sock is from Birthday Yarn from Kayla, actually. And it is, I forget the name of this. Is it the Main Summer Sock by Summerly Knits, I think?
Yes, that's what you decided on.
Yeah. So it has
Yeah.
this cabley pattern, and it's named that because it kind of like softly resembles lobsters. I do want to knit a
Yes.
pair of these in red, I've decided, because it's a fun
That would
pattern.
be gorgeous.
But this is using the Life of a Showgirl colorway from the Life of a Showgirl box from, unsurprisingly, Sorilla. So, I actually forgot how far I was on the first sock. I'm already into the
Wow, yeah,
foot,
you've made
and
a
I
lot
think
of
I've done all
progress.
the decreases. So I should just finish this up, honestly.
Yeah.
Because this is not that far. This sock's not that far from being done. Um, but I started a second sock, which is going to be the next thing I talk about, and then we can do our Christmas sweaters. So the second
Okay.
sock for my friend's birthday, her favorite book series and book character, etc., is Akatar and also Resand. So it felt fitting that I work on matching Akatar socks for us.
So
And so
cute.
this is the Court of Dreams colorway from, unsurprisingly, Explorer Knits and Fibers, and To the Stars Who Listen for like the cuff color. And I'm knitting
Yes.
this in their Cashmere Cavern sock, and it is delicious. Um, this is just a 3x1 rib pattern with like a few contrast rows
I'm
at the
telling you, a
cuff,
rib
but
sock is superior. Like socks
it
with ribs
really
and
is. They fit
cabling,
so much better.
they fit so much
Yeah.
better.
So this sock's either going to be for me or for her. I'm going to like knit it up, and then once I can try it on my foot, see if it fits me a little tight or a little loose. And if it fits me a little tight,
Hmm.
it'll be for her. And if it's a little loose, it'll be for me. So
Very smart.
those are my other two small whips. And then I only have one left, and it's also my Christmas sweater.
I have one left as well, and it's also my Christmas sweater. This is my very first Christmas sweater I've ever knit, and I knew I needed to knit it
It
this
looks
year
so
because last
good.
year I got the Woolberry, another hand dyer we love, Santa Baby set, the 50-gram skein set. And I knew I needed a colorwork yoke sweater for Christmas out of it. I was going to do the Kintra by TheCreaBea, but then you talked about this sweater. But then we
Mm-hmm.
also saw, this is the Paul Klee, sorry, I should say that. This is the Paul Klee sweater. We did see that it's made in fingering weight yarn on the gauge, and I did not want to knit a fingering weight sweater for Christmas. So I am doing yarn math, and to the extent that I have converted this to a DK weight sweater with my yarn math, i.e., I'm knitting down like 2 or 3 sizes based on my gauge swatch, and that's how we got a DK weight Paul Klee. So the main color is not from Woolberry. This is Knit Picks Caprietta Superwash Fingering held double. So this is their merino cashmere nylon yarn that I've used for socks before, and I'm obsessed with it for socks. But it's also amazing and squishy and soft held double. And I'm so excited to finish this. So I'm on the body right now, and I have this much left of my current balls.
Oh, wow.
And this is where I need your input as well because I still have sleeves left, right? I have 4
Yeah.
balls of this yarn left, and I'm holding it double. So I think I need to
How
order
much
more
of the body
yarn.
do you have left?
Okay, this is a great question. I need to try it on because, like, this seems like a decent length, right? Like, I think the raglan is pretty deep and it's
Yeah.
superwash. So I'm gonna try it on today and then knit up and finish these balls Because if I could finish the rib, maybe with the new balls that I have, I think I could probably get 2 sleeves out of what's left. Like even if they're
I
bracelet
would
length sleeves,
agree
like
with
that's
that
fine.
because I can't see you needing more than 2 balls holding it double per sleeve. I know when I knit
Yeah.
sleeves,
And that's
like for a
exactly what I
DK weight
have
sweater,
after I
yeah,
finish this. I just don't know if I can like get the body long enough and do the ribbing on the body and finish the sleeves. I don't know, but it is
I
super
would
wash, so it will
just
grow.
prioritize finishing it before the knit pick sale's over.
I know. I know. Maybe I'll cast on a sleeve today instead of like continuing in the body and just see how much yarn a sleeve takes. Their
Yeah,
sale into
that's
the
not a bad idea.
27th, so maybe I'll focus on it for Thanksgiving knitting. But yeah, I am
Yeah.
loving this and I really want it. And it looks like squish, like my floats are bad, but I promise it like really stretches. It's just because it hasn't been blocked or steam blocked yet. But
Yeah.
I love it. I really want it. I'm so excited. I just don't want to run out of yarn and then have to pay full price for
Yeah.
Caprietta, which
Capretta
is
especially.
11.99 a ball. But if I can get it for 30%
Ooh.
off because they have a sale right now, um, I can order it. I think I would just need 2 more balls, and that would be good.
Yeah, I don't think you need more than 2 more balls for sure.
So that's where I'm
Yeah,
at
I
with that
would
with.
try doing a sleeve. I bet you could do a sleeve between like today and tomorrow,
Yeah, I think
and
that's a
then you'll
good
know.
plan. I'll do that.
I'm excited for mine. I have the same Santa baby set, so I'll probably be
Yes.
doing a DK weight
Copying.
publicly now instead of a
Learn
fingering weight.
from my knitting math. Yeah, learn from my knitting math.
Yes.
We'll see how it goes.
Learn from the knitting math. Okay, and so my last one is my Christmas sweater, which is
I
the
love it.
Northern Augustins number 4.
You've made so much progress on this.
I'm done with the body. I just need to
You're,
bind off.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You just started it last week, right?
Yeah, I started it a week ago. Yeah.
It's so
I
good.
like have hyper fixated on it because at first I wanted to get through this part of the pattern, and then I wanted
Mm-hmm.
to get through the bows because I didn't catch any floats for this. So I have
Oh.
some that are 10 long, I think, and I knew that with how like those would take like the longest for me to knit those rows, so I just wanted to get through it. But I think it'll block out really well. The floats are super loose. So um, I am using Wool of the Andes, the non-superwash version in
Mm-hmm.
Oyster Heather, and I think this is Christmas Red. Let me
They
see.
have just a color that's red.
It's not, I think it's something else.
Okay. Christmas red
I have
sounds
one
familiar.
right
You
here.
bought it last year, didn't you?
Cranberry. It's cranberry.
Cranberry. Okay.
Yeah. Christmas Red is the Cascade 220 color that I was originally going
That's
to
right.
use because I was originally going to do this in Cascade. I don't know where the rest of the yarn went, but it doesn't, the color that I got did not look great like in person, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very happy with how this is turning out color wise. Um, the only modifications I made, I did 3 sets of decreases on the sides spaced out about an inch apart in the underarm area. In hindsight, I probably could have cast on fewer underarm stitches, but I just didn't want to chance it.
Yeah. Smart.
So I did that because as I was trying it on, it feels really big, and I'm hoping like when
Mm-hmm.
I block it out, I can get it to maybe stretch more lengthwise and have it be
Lengthwise.
oversized that way versus this way. And then I am not doing a double folded hem or double folded cuffs like the pattern calls for. Um, I don't like having like extra weight in the hip area, and I like having
Yeah.
the option to roll my cuffs. So I
With
kind of don't
how
want those to be extra thick.
thick the yarn is, I wouldn't want it double folded. I think that'd be too bulky.
I think it would look a lot cleaner. And like looking at the pattern, I see why they did it. Um, I just think like unless you're one of like the smallest pattern sizes, you
Mm-hmm.
probably don't need extra weight right here, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
not the most flattering thing.
Plus, it was faster, but I'm excited to
There
wear
you
this.
go.
Like, it looks so good.
I'm so excited. It looks so good. Okay, acquisitions.
Acquisitions.
I have a good number of acquisitions.
We have a lot. 'Tis the
Yeah,
season for sales
tis tis the season for sales. Exactly right.
and
Okay.
traveling.
Yes, that too. I'm gonna start with I don't even know where to start. Do I do
Are
one
you
at a
talking
time or do
about
I
what
do
you
them
got
based?
in
I'm
Knit
gonna talk about what
Dallas?
I got. No, I'm not including Knit
Okay.
Dallas because we did a haul in the fall knitting plan. So if
I'm
you
gonna
want to see
do
what
main yarn and then knit picks.
I'm doing, knit picks, the yarn you got me for Christmas in Maine. The I got some sock yarn in, and then I'm gonna do Austin yarn store haul. I'll start there because that's the oldest. So
Okay.
I'm gonna do them I'll do them by group, I feel like, versus just like us going back and forth one at a time because I bet we have a lot. So I'll do them by grouped. So the first one I got from Gauge Yarn in Austin, Texas. I went with my family for the weekend. I got these were both on sale. Stone Wool American Delaine Merino in the color Root. This is Quince & Co.
That's a really pretty brown.
I love this brown. It's a sport weight. I want to do a sweater or a cardigan out of it. I'm not sure exactly which one yet, but I love this brown. It's more cool toned than like what I'm wearing. I think it will be
Yeah.
really great. It feels very lofty. It's a 2-ply sport weight. Very excited. I've been loving sport weight. And speaking of loving sport weight, that's where I got this one as well. This is Elemental Effects in US made as well. Civility yarn, which is 70% merino, 30% mulberry silk, and it feels so nice. This is in the color 349 redwood, another sport weight.
That's a
And
really
I
good
got
red for you.
this for a DRK everyday sweater. I'm very excited.
That'll
I
be
keep
pretty.
seeing it and I'm like, I really want to cast it on. But
It's
we're
a really
gift knitting.
similar red to the shirt you're wearing today, actually.
It is. It is. It's just like a
Just
little
like a slightly
orangey, a
more
little
warm.
warmer.
Yeah,
So I think it will be really, really nice on me. So
I
yeah,
agree.
DRK everyday sweater. It feels really luxe and squish and lofty, and I would not have paid full price for this because full price it was $41 a skein.
Oh my gosh.
I got it for $24.60 a skein, so still pricey, but
But
$41.
better. Wow.
But we love a sale, so very
Yes,
glad I
we
have
do.
them.
So I'll go through the yarn I got in Maine first. We went to a really cute yarn store called Heavenly Yarns in Belfast, Maine, and they had a lot of European brands. The ones I was most excited about were Knitting for Olive and then Isair. Um, so I went into the trip since it was like the week of my birthday, knowing I was probably going to buy a sweater quantity in Knitting for Olive, and I did. I got bottle green on Merino and soft silk mohair to do, I believe it's a sweater number 18. It's the all over cabled
Mm,
sweater. Um,
yes,
if I don't start it before then, I'm guessing this is highly likely to be some of the yarn I take home with me for Christmas to
smart.
start there. Um, my grandma had sent me some money and I put that towards this as well as money from a Washington friend. So I was like, that would be kind of fun to like
There
start
you go.
knitting it in Washington. Um, and then my partner got me Brown Bear in the Merino, which is like I mean, anyone familiar with Brown Bear? It's like so dark of a
Yes,
brown, it's almost black.
yes.
I saw someone knit the Lakes pullover in this color and I needed it in my
Ooh,
life. Um, but they used heavy merino from Knitting for Olive. I'm not a huge fan of that base. I don't love how rustic it is.
it is more
Um,
rustic.
yeah, I don't love how rustic it is. And like while I've used it for hats, I'm not sure I would enjoy the experience of knitting with it for a sweater.
Mm-hmm.
So I went on Ravelry and I found someone, because at first I was thinking I would get this and hold it double, then hold soft silk mohair in there too. But I know a lot of
Yeah.
people who do that say that this held double ends up being a lot thicker than the heavy merino, which to me makes sense because heavy merino is pretty thin for a worsted,
A worsted.
DK, etc. Um, so I did find a few projects on Ravelry that knit the Lakes pullover with just a single strand of this and a single strand of soft silk mohair. So I think that's what I'm gonna do.
There
And
you
then it'll
go.
also
That's
be like
good. And you love that
my
combo.
favorite fabric. So
Yeah.
I need to order the soft silk mohair from Knitting for Olive's website directly. I'm getting ready to place a Knitting for Olive order and very excited
How
about that.
exciting.
So yeah. And then I got two sock yarns in Maine as well. The Isair sock yarn, which is an alpaca merino nylon blend. And I went with this like rusty orange brown, it's color 33, and then this buttery yellow color, which in a lot of lightings honestly just looks cream, but
It
it
looks
is like
cream
a
to me
butter
right now,
yellow.
but
It is color 58. Yeah, it looked cream in the store, but like sitting here, it looks butter yellow in person. Um, so this is kind of my magical butter yellow yarn. Depending on the light, it might
love
look
it.
cream or it might look like a true butter
There you
yellow,
go.
but these are probably going to both end up being, they're not the Gibb socks. Are they the Gibb socks by Andrea Mowry?
Oxbow.
It's not Gibb.
Oxbow.
Oxbow, yeah. I think that's what those are going to both end up being.
Yes. Okay, main yarn. I can do the main yarn that you got me for Christmas, because that's really exciting.
The
So I sent
main
you a list,
yarn.
and you were like, I need to get someone some Christmas gifts or something, and I'm going to Maine, so send me a list. And I was like, okay, fantastic. So let's start with sock yarn because you just talked about it. Same as our
Hmm.
sock yarn, very different colors, a red
Yeah.
and a blue, because these are more so in my color wheel. This is color 32 and color 11. I'm very excited about these. I actually had a thought to combine them for the Ooey Gooey socks by
I was
Andrea
just going to say
Mowry,
that looks like a good
but
colorway for your ooey gooey.
I've changed my mind on that. I have different idea for the Ooey Gooey socks using some woolberry from the um, collection. You've Got Mail collection, actually. So
Yeah.
maybe those will be a whip coming up. But so I'm gonna do these separately, I think. I think just a classic pair of red, like ribbed socks. I don't know what
Yeah.
patterns yet, but I think I'm gonna do them as solid socks because I think they'll be so good. I got some new loafers, the Coach loafers
Hmm.
for my winter loafers that I can wear hand knit socks with, which is the reason I got them. And so I think some solid colored socks will be good for those. And then
For sure.
the very exciting purchase is a sweater's quantity of this Bartlett yarns, 100% wool, grown, processed, and spun in the USA. And this is a sport weight in the color Love It, or color number 14. And I love this color. I'm a blue girl, we know this. And this is going to
Hmm.
be the DRK Everyday Cardi by Andrea Mowry because it calls for a sport weight. I'm so excited to knit with this. This is definitely more of a rustic, but we know I like more of a rustic yarn because it
Yeah.
is woolen spun and so it will bloom gorgeously. So I'm very, very, very excited for these. Also, just a heads up, I was looking on their website and we discovered when you were in person that some of the colors
Hmm.
are not labeled correctly. So you might cross-check
Or they
colorways on the Bartlett
photograph
Yarns
weird
website.
or something.
Or they photograph
Yeah.
weird or something, but I was just so glad that you were in person and texting me pictures because I thought I wanted the color denim. And that would have been like a navy. Well, I thought denim
Yeah.
was this based on their website.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would have been, it would have gone really, really wrong, basically. So I'm very
Yeah.
glad you were
I
in
was really
person and
surprised when you said you
able to
wanted
see it.
denim. Seeing it in person, I'm like, yeah, that'd be a good color, but like that color looks way more you.
Exactly. So I'm very glad you were in person and I'm very excited to make the everyday cardi out of this.
That's gonna be so pretty. Well, my last batch of yarn is knit picks, so I can go through that. So I got the yarn for my Christmas sweater, the Northern Augustins number
Hmm.
4. That was part of the same order, so I got that wool of the Andes. Um, but we'll start with this. So the first color I got, I've finally noticed with knitting, unsurprisingly, that like in my everyday life, the clothes I'm buying were very different than the colors of yarn I was buying. So
Mm,
I'm kind of leaning into, and not like just starting now, but the past 6 months or so, I've been trying to buy more yarns that match colors that are in my wardrobe
smart.
versus the yarns that I'm drawn to in the store that are pretty, but like I don't wear. Um, So everything here is very neutral and very boring, as my mom would say. But I got Lynx Heather in palette to hold double for some sweater. I'm probably thinking something by Ozetta because I feel like this color lends itself really well to Ozetta patterns,
I
but I'm
got
not
that on
100%
my
sure on what one.
I put that on my Christmas list to hold double
Yeah.
for an Ozetta Lakes V-neck, I think is what I'm gonna go with.
Oh, that'd be pretty. I've been thinking about the Autumn Tails sweater that's currently in testing, maybe, because that
Yes.
type of color seems like it would be a good one. And this is just a really nice, slightly silvery leaning brown. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not drawn to cool tones, and I like this color. So if that helps anyone, hopefully that does. I also got a very large sweater quantity of Finley heather because I want to do, I think the tulip sloops pullover was what I was thinking with it. It's one of the sweaters by Other Loops where because of the cabling and everything else, it uses a ridiculous amount of yarn. Um, and this Finley heather is just like a gorgeous light
It's so
silvery
good.
gray. So I'm excited to have that type of color of sweater in my wardrobe as well. And then that's the only Knit Picks yarn I bought for myself, actually. I also got a few balls of cranberry in
Mm-hmm.
palette to do a beanie, probably the Oslo hat for my partner. I think he'll really like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then he is also finally getting his first sweater from me.
How
So
exciting!
I got two different greens. We got Forest Heather and Shire Heather. We're big Lord of the Rings fans. And I'm going to hold these two yarns together to knit either a bibliophile or I think there's also the Monday Sweater men's version. So I'm going to
Either of those
show
would
him
be
a
great.
couple similar. Yeah, I think it'll be a raglan sweater regardless, but he'll get like to choose a sweater and then I'll knit it out of these. And I love these yarns together because Forest Heather's definitely like oranger and warm or yellower and warmer, and then this is cooler and bluer. So I think
That's
together
gonna
they'll
be
be like
so good.
a perfect dimensional green.
Yeah. Well, I love the
And that's all I
Bibliophile
have.
3. Can recommend.
Yeah, that's on the
Okay.
list for sure.
I have Knit Picks yarn as well. They've been having a lot of sales. That's been so fantastic. I got a lot of palettes, specifically the first one, Clover. This I'm going to hold with another yarn that I got, Aloft in Mountain Fern Heather for the Maple
Mm,
Meadow cardigan. It's going to be so good. I've
that's gonna
already
be really
swatched
good.
for it. I'm very excited. So I got both of these recently in their sales. Next I got Bittersweet Heather, which is like kind of similar to Brown Bear from Knitting for Olive in that it's so
Hmm.
dark brown that it's almost black. And I have an Isager Mohair in like dark chocolate or something along those lines name wise that I'm going to do the port cardigan. I mentioned yours convinced me I need one. So I'm going to do a dark
It's
brown,
really
almost
good.
black port cardigan out of this Bittersweet Heather and palette. And then this palette is in navy, and I want to do either the sweater number 18 was my original thought, but I have since then seen the Celine cardigan, which has I-cord ties on a cardigan, and I do think I'm going to do that instead because I get a lot more wear out of cardigans in Texas. And a navy
Yeah,
classic cardigan would be way more wearable for me. I'm planning to pair it with the navy mohair from Knitting for Olive, and I put it on my Christmas list. So hopefully I'll
perfect.
get that, and then I'll have the whole sweater quantity. I also do not have it with me, but I got another color of palette that I remembered when you talked about your partner's sweater because I'm gonna knit my husband another sweater. I'm gonna knit him the stick season sweater, and we decided on Asphalt Heather, which is actually a hilarious
Mm,
name for him because he's a civil engineer and builds roads.
that is so
So
true,
Asphalt
actually.
Heather held double. He's like he asked for like a dark gray, almost black color, which Asphalt Heather is. And then I told him the name, and he was like, "Perfect, my road sweater." And I was like, "Oh my gosh!" So
I
he's very
love that.
excited for that. I've already swatched for it. The palette held double is perfect for the stick season. So I'm gonna make him that.
That's great.
And if I have any extra yarn, I'm gonna make him a matching stick season hat because how perfect would that little combo be?
That'd be really great,
Um,
honestly.
so if I have extra yarn, once I get around to knitting that next year, who are we kidding? It'll be next year. He just got a sweater. But
Yeah.
yeah, and then I have one last thing because you said you were done. Actually, this one's been coming unwound a little bit.
Oh yeah.
I got some self-striping Christmas yarn from Nomadic Yarns on Etsy. Last year, I got her Evermore colorway on the yak base,
Mm-hmm.
which you also have, and
Yes,
knit
I love it.
a pair of ribbed super simple socks on my Prague trip. That was my Prague socks. And since then I've been wanting more. And so her Christmas colorways are both very like good for Christmas colorways, but also they don't scream Christmas to me,
Yeah.
at least these colorways that I got. And I was like, this will be perfect. I can wear them more than just at Christmas. So I got Yuletide on her trusty sock base, which is 75% merino and 25% nylon. Also, these are all 50-gram skeins because as a women's US
Love
6, I
that.
can do a pair of socks in a 50-gram skein, which is why I ended up getting three because, I'm saving money by getting 50-gram skeins, so why not get more? I got Good Tidings on the sack, yak sock
Zach.
base, which is 70% merino, 20% yak, and 10% nylon. And I love this base. This is what the Evermore socks were in,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm very excited to have another yak sock. And then this last one who has come undone a little bit,
No,
but
no.
it's okay. First Frost on Trusty Sock. So very excited for all of these stripy Christmas socks, which will not all happen this year. I'll probably pick one for this year and we'll go from there. But maybe it will be, honestly, I love the yak sock. Maybe I'll save it. I don't know. I don't know what it will be, but one of these will be some Christmassy socks. But that is
That'll be
my
so fun.
recent acquisitions. I actually have some yarn in my mailbox right now that I haven't gone to get yet for some sailor slippers in drops snow because everyone is obsessed with those. And so I'm very
It's gonna
excited. But
be
I don't
so
have that
fun
to
to knit
show.
up
It's in my mailbox. But
next time.
next
Maybe
time.
they'll even be done.
Maybe they'll be whips if not done next time because I'm very excited for those. I'm ready to felt
Yeah.
something purposefully.
I know I was looking at the Petite knit stockings that you felt intentionally that those twins who knit did
Hmm.
because they're so my style, but I'm like, we don't
Very
need
your
another
style.
stocking. So,
Yeah, you have great stockings
but
regardless.
maybe we'll end up with decorative stockings in our basement next year. Who knows? There's
There you
nothing but
go.
possibilities.
Nothing but
So,
possibilities. All
well,
right.
that
Is
is
that it?
all that we have that we've worked on, acquired, finished, etc. So we'll try to get another episode out before the holiday season,
Yes,
since we're both knitting a lot right now. So
we
fingers
are.
crossed we get something out before January. But we will keep you updated on our other social platforms. Kayla's a lot better
Yes.
about posting than I am, but
Oh yeah, I
I'm
post all the
trying
time
to
on
get better
TikTok.
at it.
Me and TikTok are
Um,
best buds.
yeah. But I hope you have a great rest of your day and thank you so much for spending time with us.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, and hopefully we'll see you again before the end of the year.